All right, questions for Jaylen. We'll start with Sherrod.
Hey, Jaylen, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just a couple questions. First, I wanted to ask you just uh, with John Lewis passing, and just wondering if your paths had ever crossed, and if so, just your general thoughts on his passing, and also just the adjustment to being in a condensed area like the bubble. As a player, what has that been like? What are some of the biggest adjustments that have been uh, different for you in that regard?
Uh, First, I'll start off with the adjustments. It's been an adjustment for everybody. Just being away from home for an extended period of time. Also, the schedule have varied, been a little bit up and down, but, the person who was more adept will be the most successful, I think, while we're here. To speak towards John Lewis, we never crossed paths directly, but indirectly we've crossed paths many times. Just as a civil rights leader and a humanity leader, his contributions not to just people of color, but our society in general are appreciated and welcome. It definitely was a tremendous loss, hearing that he passed away yesterday. But one of my favorite quotes is that actually he recently put out is, "Don't get lost in the sea of despair. Uh, be optimistic, be hopeful. The journey or the struggle is not the struggle of a week, a month, or a year. It's a struggle of a lifetime. So um, don't be afraid to be loud, to make noise, and to get in good trouble or necessary trouble." And that phrase speaks to me. Speaks to me more than I can even explain in words. But um, to speak to John Lewis, to the legacy he's left behind, obviously is amazing. So I don't think words can be able to do justice, but uh, rest in peace to John Lewis.
Gary Washburn. Go ahead, Gary. All right, Abby Chin.
Hey, Jaylen, when we spoke with you earlier in camp, you mentioned that you had cut off Instagram and were trying to find a routine for yourself. Have you found one, and how are you spending all of that extra time?
Yeah, I'm developing it. I'm definitely getting a good routine, making sure I'm getting adequate sleep, my diet, getting adjusted to the food here, all that plays a huge role going forward. For me, I've been just, doing research. I'm also trying to find ways to get up with my teammates or people outside that feel the same way kind of I do, just so we can put our heads together and continue to have this conversation be hot. Right now, a lot of athletes are here together, and we're not politicians, we're not educators, we're not political elites, but we do have influence, and we can continue to keep those conversations alive. So a part of me being here is trying to get up with a lot of those guys who feel the same way I do, who are down here, not just for the purpose of playing basketball, but because we're playing basketball in the midst of everything that's kind of going outside. So trying to be a bridge and connect with a lot of those guys and be courageous enough to speak on some of those things in a positive manner is a part of that journey too, a part of that routine.
All right, we'll go back to Gary.
Jaylen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you decided what to wear in the back of your jersey, and were you able to talk with the league about something that you were more comfortable with?
Yeah, and pretty much what's the list is the list. I'm still, I guess, still kind of contemplating on how I necessarily feel about what I should put on the back of my jersey. It's kind of tough to epitomize like all the feelings and emotions and everything that you're passionate about into one word, especially on the list that was given. But I'm still in the works of trying to figure things out. One thing that I saw that was clever that I kind of gravitated towards was I saw LeBron said that he didn't want to put anything, or Jimmy Butler actually said that he didn't want to put anything on his jersey. And what I thought was clever with that is that the potential, you know, not having anything, could play for the people that we don't get to see every single day. We don't hear their names. We hear Breonna Taylor. We hear Philando Castile. We hear Ahmaud Arbery, Trayvon Martin. We hear all those names that we hear in the media because somebody was lucky enough to have a cell phone. But what about the people who didn't have a cell phone available at the time, and they experienced police brutality, they experienced social stratification in education, or not getting help in healthcare? There's so many different things that go unnoticed, and it's just bigger than, you know, what we see now. I think just police brutality is just the tip of the iceberg. So being able to have an empty space and plan for some of those people that we don't know their names, and we may not ever know their names just because of, you know, et cetera. I think that's powerful too.
Amanda Pflugrad.
Hey, Jaylen. Brad had said that you guys were going to scrimmage on Friday and you guys were going to go really, really hard. I was just curious, what did you see from the scrimmage? What did you like? Maybe some things that you guys wanted to improve on as well.
We got to play harder. We got to get more ball pressure. We got to play fast. We just got to continue to move forward and get better as a team. I think that we're in a good spot and we have great potential, and we got to continue to develop that every single day. Every practice is important for us. Every time we get together, every meeting, every time we watch film is crucial. So we just getting into that mindset is more than anything of just being, you know, a great dominant team every single night.
All right. Thank you, Jaylen.
Thank you. Before I go, actually, I wanted to speak on Breonna Taylor. So I know it's a hot topic in conversation. I know a lot of people have chimed in and have their thoughts about it. And I guess where the line is drawn, or where the outrage kind of comes from, it just, you look at the case, you look at, since things have been settled down, Louisville has abolished the no-knock warrant, where now you have to knock to if you have a warrant, instead of just breaking in to somebody's home. And it happened to be the wrong home with Breonna Taylor. I understand that the protocol and the officers that they have to follow, but, you know, I think a lot of people's problem is not just with the officers, it's with the establishment, or the higher up, or I can't think of the word right now, but the problem is not just with, you know, the officers, is with what they're being told to do, et cetera. So obviously everybody is chiming in on feeling what they have to say, but for somebody to have their home broken into and not necessarily be the right necessary home, and we understand that what the protocol is, but I feel like the protocols need to change and things need to improve. We see the improvements being made, but I feel like continuing to have people speak on these things and continue to have them talk about them is going to be important. So for us, equality is demanded, and Black Lives Matter. And Breonna Taylor is an example of a Black life who was taken because of, you know, how the system has been laid out. And we're going to continue to protest, and you're going to continue to feel some type of way about it. It's unfortunate, but, you know, I think these conversations need to continue to be had, for sure. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.